Yay. Feels good to sit down a second. So good morning. And I was thinking about, I've been having issues with my attitude lately. So I had to remember all of my little attitude quotes and try and get myself in a different mindset. Um, so my favorite quote is this: life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And so, I always have to keep reminding myself about that. And then attitude is everything. And it really is. It makes such a huge difference in all aspects of your life. So, how's your attitude this morning? Let's see if we can reframe it if it's not good. So close your eyes and attune to your breath. Oh my gosh. As he let himself in. And just find your breath and check in your body. Somebody must be at the door. Sorry. Wash a bunch of Joe's heavy clothes. Now that my heart rate's up, you guys are hopefully ready for something more. So please bring hands to heart center. May we all remember that our attitudes affect so much of our lives. And if we have it in the right mindset, we'll notice that there's grace and beauty and love all around us. Lower your hands, open your eyes, and we're actually going to start in child's pose. So go ahead and find your best child's pose. And as you sit back, just harness your mind. Whenever we're totally present, some of those other aspects fall away, and we find that our attitude is so much better when we're totally focused on what we're doing. Whether it's breathing, or stretching or moving. Go ahead and stretch your arms out long. If you want to, you can come up on fingertips just to get a little more shoulder stretch in. And then plant your hands and come up to all fours and just swivel your hips side to side. We're going to do a bunch of hip openers today. So just gonna see how your outer hips are feeling. I guess stretches your inner hip too on the other side. Good. And then pause in the middle and extend your right leg and your left arm. And then we're just gonna come back down and switch. So just kind of variation bobs here. So switch, warm up the core, stretch the leg and the arm, just keep going. Right leg, left arm, left leg, right arm. A couple more times each side. And then this next time, extend the left leg, right arm, and just kind of move more into an extension. So you're in more like a cow, and then round to cat, bring knee to elbow and bring it down. And let's do that on the other side. Right leg, left arm. Keep the hips square, the shoulders square, just a little bit of an extension. And then round to cat, elbow to knee, and bring it down. Okay, now move your left knee to the middle of your mat. Extend your right leg. And then tuck the right knee in behind the left. And you can just keep your feet kind of straight back and just scooch back, stretch your hips back. Your left knee will probably lift off the mat a little bit. And then come on up, unwind and switch. So right knee in the middle, extend the left knee just so you remember, keep core strong. Tuck the knee in behind the right one and stretch back. And you can choose to curl the toes under or stretch them long, whatever works for you. Just thinking hip opener here. And then come on up, unwind to all fours. Swivel your left foot out this time. Lift the left knee up and ground that left foot down. And then again, shift back. You'll feel a different stretch in the left side. Couple breaths. And come on up. Swivel the knee in, swivel the foot in, and switch. Right knee swivels out. Lift the knee up. The toes and the knee point perpendicular, and then stretch back. Big hip opener. And come on up. Swivel the knee in, swivel the foot in. And go ahead and sit back to child's pose again. And then just slide forward till you're in a push-up pose on your knees and slide down to your bellies. Now listen carefully. You can do whatever you want with your hands. Actually, just stretch them long. Let's do that bob thing, but with opposite hand and arm here. So right leg lifts, left arm, and release, and switch left leg, right arm, and release. Keep going. Warms up your core a lot. One more time, each side. Good. And then slide your arms back to like a cactus, but you're facing the floor this time. Lift your left leg again. Now try to keep your hips as square as possible as you bend the left knee and bring it out to the side. Like a mountain climber, you're climbing up the wall. And then just hold there for a moment and try and lift your left foot and lower. So the knee stays down, you're just lifting the left foot. You'll feel it in your left hip and lower. Lift and lower. Couple more times. It's like you're rotating the whole leg in the socket. One more time. Good. And then stretch the left leg long, bring it down, and we'll switch. Lift the right leg, bring it up, bend it up like you're climbing the rock wall. See how that side feels, and then start lifting the foot and lowering. It's kind of subtle. Few more times. Just noticing you don't let your shoulders or your hips kind of move. It's just the leg rotating in the socket. Last time, extend the leg and bring it down. Now, one more time, left leg extends, bend the knee, bring it down, and then lift up on your fingertips a little bit or on your hands. I guess it feels better on my hands. Keep lengthening. And then you can try this if you want. You can stretch your left arm underneath your right into a little twist. Like a and come on out. Lift up one more time and then come on down. Slide that leg straight and we'll switch sides. So right leg extends, bend the knee like a mountain climber. Let's get it in a comfortable position and then maybe lift. Each side feels different. And if you want a big challenge, thread the right arm underneath the left. And come on up. And slide the leg back straight. Good, now bend your knees, point your toes. Arms are still in cactus. And just kind of move the feet side to side. You'll feel your left hip lift as the feet go to the right and switch, just kind of calming the back. Keep going, switch. One more time each side. Good. And then stretch long, slide your hands back by your chest and lift up to a cobra. And lower down. And one more time. Lift to cobra. Nice long spine. And lower down. Good. Push all the way back to a child's pose. I couldn't think of the name. And breathe. And make your way to a downward facing dog. Take your time. Find your alignment. Find your best stretch. And go ahead and bend your knees quite a bit and just swivel your hips side to side here. You're mostly going to feel it in your side body. And come back to center. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and extend your right leg. And then I'm just going to have you play a bit here. So just kind of, you can move it, your right leg, however you want. You can wrap it around your left. You can do wild dog, just play a little bit, just exploring the hips here. You can inner and outer spiral the leg. Good, and bring the right foot down and do that with the left. So extend the left leg. You can feel your hamstrings first. That's what I notice at the start, and then play. I like to wrap that leg around the other, but not to wild dog. Just feel it out. Good. And then bring the foot down and walk your hands back to your feet, please, into your first forward fold. You're just gonna sway forward and back on your feet, just checking in to see if you're using all parts of your feet and legs. And then pausing when the weight's right in the middle. Grab your elbows if that's possible. You don't have to. And now the lower body stays the same. Just swivel to the left and to the right a few times with your upper body. You can add a little twist if you'd like. And then slowly roll up to standing. Stretch your arms up. Look up, get really tall. Bring your hands down by your side. Okay, now you may choose to go near a wall for this next part, balance part, or you can use blocks too. I'm going to try it without today, see if it works. So just bend both knees a little bit and bring your left ankle over your right thigh. So it's chair pose with a little hip action. You can bring hands to heart center. You can sit deep. and hip opener here. Good, and come on up. Nice. Now we'll just bring that foot behind and do a quad stretch. One more breath. And release. And let's switch. I like to start with the knees bent slightly so that I can place that ankle right where I want it. And then slowly sit back. Like I said, use the wall if you're not feeling safe here. Keep your low belly drawing up. Hip creases back. And then come on up and move right into that quad stretch. Good, and release. Good. And stretch your arms up again. And fold forward. Again, just pause. Just check in with all the different parts that work here. And then walk your hands back out to downward facing dog. I like to bend my knees a lot. Just then shift my hips up and back. I feel like I'm really in the stretched out pose. And then come forward to plank. And hold there. Stay in plank, but lower your knees till they're almost touching the floor. And then see, maybe you can swivel the hips side to side with your knees just hovering. Really strong core and pause in the middle, lower your knees. Good. Grab your blocks and you can bring them low, medium, or high height, whatever works for you, and come back to downward facing dog. Bend your right leg and step it through to deep lunge. Good. Just feel the deep lunge for a moment. And lower the back heel. We haven't really stretched out the calves too much. And then sweep your right arm up and open up for a little twist. And stretch back down. Good. Now you might have to turn your blocks on a higher height. You're going to lift your back heel super high, straighten your right leg for Parsvottanasana. Parsvottanasana. Gosh, I can't talk today. And maybe fold deeper. Stretch out that hamstrings, back of the right leg. Couple breaths. And then step back to a downward facing dog. You'd probably have to bend your knee first. And then extend your left leg. Step it through. Deep lunge on the other side. Right hand stays down. Sweep the left arm up to open up to the twist. I don't know, my attitude always gets better when I have open hips. So see if it works for you. Stretch down. Turn the blocks to the higher height if you need to. Lift the right heel high, straighten the left leg. Urdhva Heels, knees, sits bones align. Both legs. Good. And then bending into the front knee, this time step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we're just going to flow through a few sun salutes here. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. This time, step the right foot back. Deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Bring the left block to the inside of your foot. You're going to have to wiggle your left foot out. Keep the hips and the shoulders square. Kneecap and toes point the same direction. Maybe fold to a monkey lunge, kind of humbling pose. I always like to think of using all four corners of my foot, but maybe I can broaden the knee to the left a little bit to open that knee a little bit more. Maybe even the inside edge of my foot lifts, even if it's super active. Couple more breaths. And then come on back up. Lift the back knee and step back, downward facing dog. Now your blocks should be in a good position so you can extend the right leg and step it to the outside of the block. And just kind of check in there, lower the back knee. Take your time. One side always feels different with the hips. Maybe lower down. Maybe widen your knee if that feels good, keeping the right foot super active. Just opening that hip. Don't overdo. Good. And come on back up. Lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Just set your blocks off to the side for a moment. And we'll do a vinyasa. So inhale to plank, exhale to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Lower. You can do a push up to down dog or just downward facing dog. And now listen carefully. You're going to extend your left leg and then sweep that left knee up behind your left wrist, or maybe even wider, and then bring the foot towards the right side of the mat. So set the knee down, lower the right knee. We haven't done this for a while, pigeon prep. Try not to just sink into it and let all of your weight just pull on those ligaments. I want you to keep hugging the knees towards each other, lengthening your spine. Then maybe lower to your elbows. Think left hip crease, widen and back. This is pigeon prep pose. I don't teach it very often because I don't want people to sink into it, like I said. Got to keep active so you don't overstretch here. More breaths. And come back up to your hands. Curl your right toes under, lift that knee, and then just slide back to downward facing dog. And we'll do that on the right side. So extend the right leg, sweep that right knee behind the right wrist. Left foot comes to the side. Just pause. See how it feels. Maybe lower to your elbows if it's a good stretch for you. Right hip crease moves wide and back. That's the stretch. Keeping active with your right foot. Now, this knee is my problem knee, so I like to think, okay, I'm going to keep the knee closed in the proper direction. I'm just widening that hip. Heels, your left heel, left sits bone, left knee are all in alignment. Your right knee's off to the side, and your right heel's to the other side. Hugging to the midline. And then come on back up on your hands, curl your toes. Under on the left foot, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale lower. And downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes as your hands come in front of your face. Pause there. Just check in with your attitude now. With open hips, things appear a lot different. Hopefully. Inhale, stretch it up, open your eyes. Exhale, fold forward. If you want to add the blocks again, feel free. And step your right foot back to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline and stretch up to Anjane Asana. Bring hands to heart center. Think low belly's up, the hip creases are parallel. Just gonna twist to my left, bring the right elbow to the left knee. Yeah, just like that. Do you feel something in your right hip? Hug the heel to the knee, knee to the heel. And if you want to try something fun, lift the back knee. You'll feel even more stretch there. Good. Unwind, touch down, and step forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's keep going for the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Left foot steps back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee when you're ready. And inhale, stretch up, Anjane Asana. We haven't stretched out the front of our hip that much on that left side, so it just feels tight. Hands to heart center. Make a really strong core as you twist to the right. Maybe add the lift of the left knee. I always press my right hand into my left, lengthen my spine, shoulder blades on the back. Good, and unwind. Step back, down dog. And go ahead and lower your knees and transition to your backside with your legs stretched out long in front of you. Good. And then just bend your right knee and bring the ankle across the thigh. You can kind of see, well, am I on my sit bone? Can I sit up nice and tall here? Do I want more stretch? If you do, you can lift up. And here's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to wrap my elbows underneath my shin. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And then rock your baby a little bit. Think long spine. Oh, that's a deep stretch, and oh, is it satisfying? Oh, yeah. Good. Now, holding the foot and the knee, just swivel that foot around so you can stack knee on top of knee and see how that feels. If you want more stretch, you can fold out over your knee. Try and get your spine nice and long so that you can bring the chin over the top of your knee if you're so inclined. And then maybe add a little twist. So bring your left hand across to the inside of your foot, your right hand to the outside. Just feel it in your hips. So left hip crease back, or right hip crease back, left hip ground. Good. Unwind. Come on up. And just for fun, I want you to try half a lotus. So you bring the little toe side of your foot right in your hip crease. And then see how that feels. Ooh. Yeah. This knee may or may not cooperate and come down. You're pressing the little toe side into that hip crease. You'll feel something. Good. And then just bring the foot to the inside of your thigh now, facing your outstretched leg. Again, fold. So your leg's straight ahead. This is a little bit different variation of Janu Shirshasana. You can fold straight over the knee if you want. Your right hand can reach for the little toe side. And breathe. And come on up. Oh, that side's good. Let's switch. You can shake it out. And we'll switch. So bend the left knee, ankle across first. Just check in. See how it feels. Maybe you have limitations on one side or the other. You just stay here. Or if you want more, you can wrap underneath if you want, or wrap around. Think of that ball and socket of your hip. Just picture that in your mind's eye. It helps you get this stretch right because you don't want to torque your knee or anything like that. Just and then bringing it across that half Gomukhasana. Is where a lot of times my thighs get in the way, so it's hard for me to stack. And then you just go wherever it feels like a good stretch to you. If you want more stretch, bring the left hand off to the side, reach to the inner edge of your foot, and little twist. That's a different stretch to that hip. Good, come on up. You want to try the half lotus, little toe side and the hip crease. And this side is special for me, so I don't force it with my knee. And then bringing the foot to the inner edge, facing that outstretched leg. Janu Shirshasana, just stretch. Noticing the little nuances that make it feel more satisfying. Come on up. Stretch that leg out straight, shake it out. And we'll come to a wide-legged stance. And if you want to turn sideways on your mat, you can, just to get, if your heels are on the sticky mat, you don't slide as much. And then inner spiral to see how it feels. And maybe fold forward. There's so many different areas of our hip to stretch, right? You can come to your elbows. Press the heels down isometrically, hug them towards each other. And then come on up a little bit. Walk your hands towards your right leg. So one hand's on either side. And stretch out over that leg if you'd like. Just keeping the left leg super active. You can reach for the little toe side with your left hand if you want. And then walking back through the center to the other side. I just want you to do that so you can keep your wide stance the same. Adding the twist. Maybe a little hold. Come on up. And slide your feet together. And come on up to standing. Come to the front of your mats. Have your blocks at the highest height on the outside of your feet. And then with your hands on the blocks, step your right foot back to a deep lunge. Straighten the left leg. So this Parsvottanasana again. I just want to show you what happens when you get your hips open. So in a pranam position, the right hand stays on the block, left hand to the hip, and then twist to your left. Oh, wow. Twisted triangle, piece of cake. Extend the arm if it feels good. And release the hand to the block, bend the knee, step forward, and we'll switch. Left foot back. If you prefer your foot grounded down, that's an option too. Straighten your right leg. Left hand to the hip. With open hips, this twist becomes much easier. Twisted triangle pose. Good. Reach down, touch the block, bend the knee, step forward, and just set your blocks out of the way. Come down to a deep squat. And sit back and come all the way down your back side. Hug your knees in. Kind of roll side to side. And then bring your feet down. Bring your right ankle across your left thigh. Move your left foot slightly away from you a little bit so that your foot's not right under the knee. Bring your arms to cactus. And then roll to your left hip. Right shoulder stays down. So your right knee's up. And then this is optional. See if it's there for you. Just reach down with your right hand. See if you can find your left foot. So the knee closes there. And then maybe you can reach your left hand to your right ankle and work on lifting the knee more upright. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Breathe into it. And release your hands. Bring your knees back up. And lift your left foot up. This time, interlace either behind the thigh or maybe you can interlace in front of the shin. So that baby cradle that's a little more intense. It's your choice though. And release, and we'll switch. So right foot down, maybe a little further away from you, left ankle across the thigh, arms in cactus to start, and just roll to your right hip. The foot comes down, and then see, maybe you can close the right knee, find the right foot with your left hand, and the left ankle with your right hand. Don't force it, just see maybe it's available. Trying to work that left knee straight up towards the ceiling. And release. Bring the knees back to center. And then either interlace behind the thigh or in front of the shin. And then release the right foot to the floor. Bring the left foot beside. And let the knees open to Supta Baddha Konasana. See if it feels easy or if it's your hip flexors are tired and they're gripping a little bit, just breathe into them. When you're ready, close the knees and stretch out for Shavasana. I might want to cover up today. I don't know. I like to bring my blanket on my upper thighs just because it adds a little weight there, reminding me to relax completely in my all my hip muscles and ligaments. Relax now. Really focus on that area. Just breathing into it and letting everything relax in your hips, inside, outside, front and back. Every exhale, you feel a little heavier in your bones, especially that big bone, your pelvis. And as you relax, I'm just going to share some words from Marianne Williamson, which I think have everything to do with attitude. Everything I do is infused with the energy with which I do it. I know that what I'm feeling is communicated subconsciously to everyone, and every thought I think creates form in some way. Taking responsibility for my energy is as important as taking responsibility for my behavior. And today I will do that. I seek in any situation to be a blessing, a miracle worker, an expander of love. That is my only goal, that I might experience true peace. Every thought, every feeling, every action has consequences beyond what we can see. I pray today that the emanations of my mind and heart be purified of fear and uplifted to the level of divine right order. May I thus be an instrument of peace. tuning back into your breath. Encourage a bit deeper breath. Ready to start moving. Let's do. Taking your time. Back up to seated. In a nice seat. Just kind of check in again. Bring hands to heart center. Just want to thank each of you for helping me with my attitude this morning. And I bow to the beautiful light that shines out of each of you. Namaste. Good, good. So before you guys